They taking on that role because there ain't no evidence to prove that you are the father. Who is the father of this child? Yeah, ain't no. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I was talking about.
Because if you read all the laws and shit that we was reading, right?
Right.
Remember, I forgot what, but it's under that thing you sent me, and I'm not sure. I said, yeah, I read that before, right? When it was like, basically like the rights of a parent who's in the military and stuff getting shipped, and who got the rights and all of that stuff for deployment.
Right.
Right. Okay. And it was like you automatically got rights to the child once you married, right? But you see, I'm starting to look at, you see how they left out a lot of shit there?
Mm-hmm.
When they say you got rights to the child when you married, but they leave out the whole part about until you get divorced.
Yeah.
So it's like once you get divorced.
That's because there's no problem at that point. Y'all married. Y'all still together. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's filed any type of divorce, no separation. There's no strife between the parties. So they have no reason to get involved at that point. You know what I'm saying? They only get involved when one of y'all go run your ass to get them involved. Once y'all get them involved, that's how they move. So you can, so the legitimation document, paternity acknowledgement form, sorry about that, the paternity acknowledgement form at the hospital, whether you do it at the hospital or later on, it ain't shit until you do the DNA test. And most people run from it because they don't want to be locked into a child support contract. But so people don't know no other way of dealing with child support except through debt slavery, through their 9 to 5, and then you're getting garnished and jailed and license suspended and all the other harsh bullshit they do to you. So that's why people run from it. They don't try to do the DNA. They just run from it altogether. Not because they don't want to father their children. They don't want to be treated like that. Who the fuck want to be treated like that? Mothers don't even want to be treated like that. Because I know
what I'm saying.
I know a few women on child support. They do that shit to anybody on child support. Yeah. So
right.
So, but the thing is, the paternity acknowledgement form only creates a rebuttable presumption.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, I can easily.
Goddamn.
I can easily.
You know what? Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
I can easily fill out me and the mother of a child, example, can fill out a paternity acknowledgement form where paternity means the father. That's dealing with the father. Maternal deals with the mother. So
right.
A paternity acknowledgement form. I'm filling that thing out, signing it, putting in social and all that information on it. Here in Georgia, you got to put the social on the document. Okay, and
man, I got all of
and the
stuff.
mother fills it out too. They both put the information on there, in front of a notary. You got to properly identify yourself, and the notary notarizes it, and that goes to the Georgia Department of Human Services.
Yep. Child support.
And they in the vital records and all that stuff. And that point, the name of your name is put on the birth certificate of the child, and you acknowledge as the father. That's an acknowledgement of paternity, but it doesn't prove paternity. Only DNA proves it, because I can easily fill out a paternity acknowledgement form. That don't mean I'm the daddy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think they're the daddy of the child. They're the father
because the child can be rebutted. Like you said,
it's a rebuttable presumption.
That's
why they call it on this form. They call it prima facie. That means that it can be proven. It can be proven. What they call it, prima facie.
That's why Tennessee was like, y'all stealing people's kids. Like y'all letting the real fathers of these people steal people's kids, because the women get mad with the real dad, and then stepdaddy come and take the kid, and then because they don't sign the birth certificate and all of this shit.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. let's see, prima facie, on that form it says it creates it's prima facie evidence. It's the evidence to establish a fact that raise a presumption unless disproved or rebutted. And see, but what DNA can is not going to be rebutted.
Right.
DNA test ain't gonna lie. But a paternity acknowledgement form, that only you just acknowledging that you're the father. But then you take DNA and find out you're not the father. That's going to rebut that presumption, that prima facie evidence. And so that's why all these years, whether you're married or not, the state's gonna acknowledge a child being yours if you married, to a woman when she has the baby.
Right.
When y'all part ways, your best bet is to get DNA tested, because if you don't, then you're gonna find out whether or not that child really is yours. I would do that shit any damn way. I don't give a fuck if I am married. I don't care if ain't no problems. Especially if I see some suspicion going on. I'm talking shit, but hell, I ain't take one for my own son, to be honest with you. So that might sound a little hypocritical.
Thing
is, I know what the fuck I did.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, my son wasn't no accident.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I knew.
But thing is, just say this. Me knowing what I did, I can say that all day. That don't mean somebody else didn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. And that, right.
So just say, with that being said, say I fill out the paternity acknowledgement form, because I know what I did. Somebody else may be thinking the same thing, but they didn't fill out the form. And the child's not mine. Just because I did the paternity acknowledgement form does not mean that the child is mine. Not saying that, I'm just using it as an example. And so
I got you.
And so paternity acknowledgement, when you do a legitimation, not paternity acknowledgement, legitimation here in Georgia, when you get a court order, you petition the court for legitimation, and then you get a court order for y'all to go and submit DNA samples. DNA ain't gonna lie. That's gonna prove without shadow of a doubt. There is no presumptions there. There's no presumption once you get the DNA back. Now that's facts that child was created from your loins.
No doubt.
No doubt at all. And at that point, they can respect your rights as having custody and visitation rights and stuff like that. You can't do that before you do that. Without going through legitimation process, they're gonna be like, fuck you. And you can file all the court cases you want to. I filed like 3 or 4 of them for my son's mom. Wonder why I never got no fucking movement. And that's why, because I have totally ignored that legitimation process, thinking that I can actually I'm thinking that's the statutory route. I ain't doing the statutory. I'm gonna go the equity route. I had a distorted understanding about it. And so now I'm like, since I know that that's the only way, and I know that when they have you submit DNA samples, they have you doing it through a state issue, a state process, and that process, they're gonna automatically bring child support involved in it. Anytime, even when you got custody matters going on, they're gonna bring child support in there. They're gonna bring child support. If it's a custody battle, child support definitely gonna be involved. So
right, regardless.
Bottom line is, now, so with that being said, I'm sitting here. So if I'm me knowing, since there's a way to tender a case to deal with the financial aspect of it, why run from legitimation now when you know how to tender a case? Once you know how to tender a matter and get rid of the and satisfy the financial aspect of the matter, now you can go ahead and go with the petitioning for the legitimation. You know what I'm saying? And get the DNA, the DNA proof that child was created from your loins. You know what I'm saying? So now you have equal rights with the mother to assert your rights as the father, the lawful father of that child, regardless of whether or not you were
not legal. But not legal.
Yes, exactly. Regardless of whether or not you were married or not, they say specifically says that you will be they will be seen, you will be treated as if the same way it is, even as if you were married to the woman. So there's no, here in Georgia, there's no way around that. And I don't know what other states do that, but they say Georgia is one of few states that go that extra process with paternity acknowledgement. And so I got it. I'm just this is what I'm talking about, where I get into my damn feelings right now. Yeah.
Yeah, about this shit, because I'm like, what the fuck the purpose of ever marrying somebody then? Is at that point it's like it's not worth it, because once you split, you got to go through this shit right here. So if it was all good while we was together, now you talking about to split up, and it's presumed that I had equal rights as this person here, but really never did. But y'all been letting me get away with it for as long, because the documentation seems to be adding up. It's a whole money thing, man. It's a money thing. It's a money thing, bro.
I know that. You know, there's no moral aspect when you're talking about the at-law side of things.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's not.
Only the equitable side that deals with the moral aspect of things for the most part. If any part. But when it comes, that's why common law is not enough. Because if they have so many different parts of law that are necessary for whatever, for different situations. But the thing is, like the at-law side, it's all about money, man. They don't give a damn if you don't never see your kids no more. As long as you make them payments every month for the next 18 years or however many years you got.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck if you never have no relationship with the child. And so that's why there's no morals at all when it comes to, family court.
And you know what? That's why I was skipping over the shit so hard too, because the shit where they had to put in there, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, well, you married is automatically. So my whole time, you see what I'm thinking, that where I'm going from it, like, well, shit, me and mine was married before I had my kid. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm thinking, shit, I automatically got some rights that now I'm looking at. I ain't got a motherfucking right neither then at this point.
I feel you on that.
All that been taken away. All that shit been taken away.
Hey, that's how they do. They do fathers when they come to divorces any damn way.
Yeah, but it's like
they gonna do the husbands like they gonna treat them like shit, man. That's generally how they do it anyway.
But that's what I'm saying. It was all good till it wasn't. So it's like, you know what I mean? So in other words, I'm the one that's benefiting off of goddamn privilege. So in other words, see, this where the privilege shit come in at, right? Where it's like, okay, well, you privileged, right? You've been married, you getting the privileges of being married. That don't necessarily mean it is a privilege. You following me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a privilege, man. So what's the point if I want that type of privilege? Because once it's over, that's why I say, man, that shit just blew me, man. That shit got me very pissed off, bro.
The mothers don't have to go through that because the baby comes out of the mother.
That's what. Remember me, you was talking about that.
Yeah, the baby comes from the mother.
Yeah,
the mother's the one that gave birth to the child. So
yeah,
but that child don't, just because she says that's the daddy or he says I'm the daddy, don't necessarily make it true. We're gonna go with the niggas that
right. But we knew that lady got on there and she had birth on that damn table.
Yeah.
That baby came out of her.
Exactly.
We know that without a shadow of a doubt.
Exactly. But we don't know how that baby got in there. DNA is gonna prove who the father is. DNA testing. That's where and only after doing that here in Georgia will a father be able to assert his rights to have custody or visitation rights once he goes through that. That's it.
All right. So now I gotta look.
Because now you can prove. Now you prove without shadow of a doubt that baby was created by you and her.
So now I got to get legitimation papers and do legitimation.
Yep.
I wonder, can I request that in this court hearing?
I've been avoiding that shit all these years too, man, because I really thought.
Me too.
I was thinking there were other ways to do it, because I didn't want to get caught up in the child support scam. You know what I'm saying? But now, like, the more I'm looking into it and understanding that there's ways to tender cases to satisfy a case and get that part behind you, and now you can go with the DNA part of it. Now this child support part is satisfied. You got what you needed. Everything's already there. We just don't know. We have never been taught about how to deal with court cases. We've never been taught how to do processes and none of that stuff. We're not taught that stuff.